All right, in this particular lesson, we're going to be talking about some things that we talked about at the very beginning of geometry, going over some of those things, and then adding some of those terms that we learned way back at the beginning of the year. We're going to develop those. We're going to get more into them, okay? So, first thing that you should notice as you're looking at this lovely page is you should actually recognize a lot of this information. So, we're just going to go over some of the old vocab words that you should have memorized by now. All right, and then we're actually going to build on those. Okay, so we have a conditional statement. Well, a conditional statement is a statement that is an if-then form. If the angle is 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. All right, if-then form is a statement in the form of if hypothesis, then conclusion. Just like the one I said. I hypothesize that my angle is 90 degrees, so my conclusion is that it is a right angle. Okay? Going into that, what's a hypothesis? Well, a hypothesis, as you recall, is the word that follows the if, conclusion, the one that follows the then. A converse. The converse is a statement formed by switching the hypothesis and the conclusion. So instead of saying if the angle has 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. We could say if it is a right angle, then the angle measures 90 degrees. Okay? Now, going into some things that you might not recognize. We have a negation of these rules. It changes the truth value of the statement to its opposite. For example, the statement Knoxville is the capital of Tennessee is false. Okay? The negation of the statement has the opposite truth value. The negation, Knoxville is not the capital of Tennessee, is true. Okay? So for example, if we were to say San Diego is the capital of California, that wouldn't be true. However, the truth value would be that San Diego is not the capital of California. Okay? Or the statement a right angle has a measurement of 88 degrees. It's not true, but the negation would be a right triangle is an angle that does not have a measurement of 88 degrees. Okay? All right, going into that. An inverse. An inverse is a statement formed by negating the hypothesis and conclusion of a conditional statement. All right, so for example, if I had a figure as a square and it is a rectangle, well, the inverse would be if a figure is not a square, then it is not a rectangle, okay? We're just taking the, we're just basically making the negation of both statements, okay? Both the hypothesis and the conclusion. All right, to continue with that same example, a contrapositive is a statement formed by switching the negating the hypothesis and the conclusion. So I could say if a figure is uh, not a rectangle, then it is not a square. Okay, so I reverse the two. Okay, all right, and then the last vocabulary word we have is equivalent statements. These statements have the same truth value, a true hypothesis and a true conclusion. All right, so for example, we could pretty much say that um, any of the conditional statements that we've really thought of in the past that we have proven that both the truth values are true, then we got them. So for example, if it is a square, then it is a rectangle. Okay, would be an equivalent statement. Okay? All right, so basically, that's all I have for you for our lesson today. We're just adding some more lovely if then, if not then, if not then not then statements into our lovely world of vocabulary in geometry. All right, please come to class with any questions about any of this information. Also, if you have any questions about the information we uh, went over at the beginning of the year that you maybe didn't understand, but now you really need to understand because it's back, please bring those as well.